I look in the mirror at myself now, and the man that stood on that bridge is not the man that's standing in front of you right now.
This is why we keep doing this.
Just one of the more than 200 people whose life was saved when Sergeant Kevin Briggs convinced him not to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. That interview from NBC Nightly News.
Well, now retired, Briggs has written a book titled Guardian of the Golden Gate, Protecting the Line Between Hope and Despair. He's also known as the Angel of the Bridge. Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
What was that gentleman's story right there?
Kevin Briggs, amazing individual. I met him on his darkest day of his life when he came to that bridge, which he's never been before, to jump. He was ready. He had a lot of things going on in his life that were just not right. He was adopted. His birth mother wanted nothing to do with him. Started there. His adopted parents divorced when he was 13. He thought he was the cause of it. He suffered from a mental illness, and he was supposed to be on some medication, which can help people if they need it. And he stopped taking it. He wanted a family, started a family. Thought that would be wonderful for him. But his daughter was born 2 months premature. Had to stay in the hospital. And he thought whatever he did caused this. And when she was able to come home, came home with a $250,000 bill for the hospital bill for this. And then he had just lost his job. So he was just spiraling down.
What do you do? What do you say? I mean, you've saved 200 lives.
I say I helped people, not saved them, but that's what I say. I think I've helped them in a very dark day. I just want to be there for them, and I want to personalize everything. I say, hi, I'm just Kevin. I'm not Sergeant Kevin Richard Briggs with the Highway Patrol. No, I'm just Kevin, and I'd like to hear what's going on. I'm here for you today. I've had a lot of things in my life with cancer and heart issues and traumatic brain injuries and all these things, but I tell folks I don't talk about that because it's about them. Everything is about them. Normalizing their situation and saying, you know what? I think anyone going through all these different things in your life would feel like the way you do. Because many times these folks feel like they're stuffed in a corner all by themselves and they're the only one going through these things.
What do you not want to say?
You don't want to say, well, why? Why are you here? Why'd you do that? You know what you should have done. I say, you should, things not to say. You should calm down. I understand. Things will get better.
See, that's interesting. I think I might say, like, it's okay. It's, yeah.
Right. Because we get nervous. And we think of that we don't want silence. Silence, oh, I don't know, we can't do that. But you should, no, you know what you should have done. Now, how about, have you tried?
Right.
Calm down. What happens when you're very angry and I tell you to calm down?
I get mad.
You get more angry. Right. So, and why? Why did you do that? Why are you here? It tends to place blame, and we don't want to do that.
We've had, of course, 2 celebrity deaths this past week.
Right.
And we saw since then the numbers from the CDC, the statistics, suicide rates up 25% since 1999. 54% of those cases, though, people who've committed suicide are people who had no history of mental illness or depression. So how do we know? What are we looking for?
We're looking for changes. Big one is changes in behavior. That people used to go out and do things. Their activities have changed a lot. Now they're isolating themselves. They want to stay inside. Maybe they're talking about, you know what, everything's going to be fine. You don't have to worry about me. In 3 days, everything's going to be fine. Something like that. Changes in their mood. They're agitated or they're sleeping more. They're in such emotional pain that when they're sleeping or they're abusing drugs or alcohol, then they're not in that pain, that emotional pain. A lot of different things, talking about it, writing about it. These different things. That's what we're looking for.
You had something personal in your own life with one of your sons. What happened?
My oldest son. What happens with us first responders and those in the mental health field is we give, and we're trying to work so much to help people that we don't recognize what's going on with us or our families. So here I am traveling around the world talking about this, and I landed at San Francisco airport one time, and there's a text from my youngest son. And he says, Dad, you need to, actually it's a voicemail. Dad, you need to get here quick. Kevin, my younger son, the oldest one, he is in the backyard. He smashed an iPad and he says he's going to kill himself.
Oh my God.
Wow. Out of the blue. So it took me about an hour to travel up there. And he's in the backyard in complete darkness, just pacing back and forth. Very strange. And I walk back and I put my hand on his shoulder and I call him baby boy. I said, baby boy, what's going on? He completely broke down, almost screaming, crying. And I was shocked. I'd never seen this before. So we sat in the backyard in the darkness, just he and I. And I did a lot wrong, admittedly. But I was putting pressure on him for good grades. You know, he says, Dad, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. Okay, good enough. Some kids at school started doing marijuana. He wanted nothing to do with it. He wants to study and play soccer. I didn't explain, I was divorced. I didn't explain the divorce to him. He thought he was the cause of it. Oh. And the big one, I think, is since the divorce, and he was young, of course, I moved out, I would be telling him, since I'm gone a lot traveling for this work, that, baby boy, you're in charge. If anything happens with the house, you know, if it's on fire, if anything happens, you're the man. You have to take charge. And, I just did a number of things wrong.
But you meant it as a positive.
I did.
Yeah, right.
I was trying to explain things to him, but I should have done it in a different manner.
And now he's a thriving young man.
He's doing much, much better. We did seek help, and that's what I tell folks. Don't be afraid. I thought years and years and years ago, mental illness was a weakness, didn't exist.
Right.
Someone who suffers from depression and is on 2 medications, plus I do therapy, it has helped me tremendously.
Well, that's why you have such a great connection, I imagine, to those people that you've helped over those years, is that you understand because you've been there yourself.
The empathy, to see through their eyes.
Absolutely.
And to talk about it, as we're doing.
That is huge, to talk about.
Oh, look at your
Here's
boys.
your handsome brood here.
Yes.
They're so good looking. Well, thank you so much, Kevin, for all that you've done and for spreading the word. I know you travel around the country and give speeches, so we are honored that, you know, we were able to have a little time with you, especially given all that's happened in the last week.
Thank you very much for having me.
And again, Kevin's book, Guardian of the Golden Gate, Protecting the Line Between Hope and Despair, is available now.
Up next, Maya Bialik is here with her new parenting book aimed at helping boys cope with the emotional stress of puberty. That's